What's good, y'all? It's your boy Bad C, aka Nicholas Cage, aka Larry J. Blige, aka your mother's baby father. Yo, we back with another episode of your favorite song. This is season 2, man. I want to thank everybody for making season 1 a success. Thank you to all the guests, and thank you for everybody for tuning in, man. Yo, man, I got a real special guest for the kickoff of season 2. Is definitely one of my favorite pens in hip hop, man. A matter of fact, I'm gonna skip the wild elaborate introduction because Duke is too super for that. He just wear his pen is too super for that. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce my guy Skyzoo.
Peace,
What's
peace.
good,
What's
bro?
up, man? What's going on, brother?
Yeah, man, y'all, I'm chilling, man. Yo, it's definitely an honor to have you here. You know, like I said, man, I respect your pen. Your pen mean, and it's been mean,
Oh
and
man, thank you,
you know,
thank you.
so salute to you, bro.
Man,
Word
man,
up.
I appreciate the words and I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be here, on the joint with you, know what I'm saying? And it's good building with you and kicking it, man. It's an honor for me as well.
Yeah, yo, I wanted to tell you that it's crazy because back in the day, I'll never forget this. The first time I heard about you, I was up at I forgot what meeting I was in. It was a while ago. It had to, I want to say oh two,
Damn.
oh two, oh three. Like it was a while ago
Yeah.
because I was in a meeting with these guys that wanted to manage me, and one of the guys that was in there was Uncle Ray.
Oh,
You
word
know what I'm
up.
saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I remember
That had to
during the
be '03.
conversation.
That had to be '03.
Yeah. So during the conversation, I remember that he said something to they was just talking about other rappers and stuff like that. And I remember Uncle Ray brought your name up. He was like Skyzoo. And I
Yeah.
remember that name always stuck in my head since he said that shit. You
That's
know what I'm
real.
saying? Shout to Uncle Ray. You
Absolutely.
know what I'm
Shout out to
saying?
Uncle Ray, man. He managed me in like '03 to like '04, about a year. We
Mm.
worked for about a year and a half, and he was awesome, man. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, anybody in your life can make an impact and give you jewels in one way or another. And he was awesome. You know what I'm saying? We only worked for about a year and a half, but it was all love and it's still love. You know what I mean? I haven't spoken to him in forever, but man, nothing
Yeah,
but
man.
love, for Uncle Ray, man. He was awesome.
Yeah. Uncle Ray is dope. I know he was involved with X's career a little
Right.
bit too.
He was his first manager. That's literally his
Yeah.
uncle. That's why they called him Uncle Ray. And
Yeah, yeah.
he was his first manager for like maybe the first 10 years or something. You know what I'm saying? So he was very instrumental in all that success. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, um, I want to get into what my favorite joint that you was a part of.
Okay.
Now, you got a crazy catalog. It's extensive. Um, you just go nuts. So I was like, yo, how could I really pick a favorite joint?
Yeah.
So what I did was I was like, what's the joint that immediately when I think Skyzoo, if somebody say Skyzoo, because like that's how I am as a fan. Like it's like if somebody say uh Chic Luch, I'm thinking the Benjamin
Mm,
beat. Like just certain
okay.
people when
Yeah.
they mention them, you hear the beat that brings you to a certain
Yeah.
time in a certain space.
Yeah.
So I think with you, it's a joint. You was a feature on this joint, and it was you and Conway with the first Sky joint.
Oh
I
yeah,
know
yeah,
y'all
yeah.
did a couple, but
Yeah.
that first Sky joint, eating brunch with the Blodges, it's
Yeah.
not a punchline. Like, come on, Sky. Like, come
Yeah.
on. You ain't have to stun on niggas like that. But then it's wild because just the contrast of how you and Conway sounded together
Yeah.
was crazy. It
Yeah.
was it was crazy. The beat was crazy. The
Yeah.
bars was crazy. Tell me a little something about that record. How did it even come about?
Oh man, well, Khan and Wes and Benny and all them guys, those are my family. You know what I'm saying? The whole Griselda, those is my family, man. I've known them for a very long time now. I want to say 2014, is when I
Mm,
first started linking with them, going to Buffalo. I was in Buffalo hanging with them and building and shooting videos. And, I was in the hood with them, just kicking it. You know what I mean? So those
yeah,
are my guys for real, for real. We go to each other's
yeah,
houses for holidays, shit like that. You know what I mean? And I always just knew how ferocious all of them was, and if we talking about that record, we talking about the Sky joint, I always knew how ferocious, Khan was, and just being a fan of him and all those guys, and it was as simple as, him just hitting me like, yo, bro, I'm working on a project, got to get a joint with you on it. I was like, absolutely, and we did the joint, and he sent me the beat. And yeah, I think he just sent me the beat, and that's why I set it off, because he just sent me the beat, like, yo, this the joint right here. So I threw a verse on it, sent it back. We wasn't in the lab together for it, but I sent it back, and then he loved it, and he jumped on it, and then Wes added a hook later, and Wes put the hook in there, whatever. We flipped the Lost Boys joint, and it just came out crazy. I didn't know what he was gonna name it, so he named it Sky Joint, and I was like, oh, that's cool, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's dope, you know what I mean? He named it Sky Joint, and then we did the Sky Joint Part 2, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was dope though, man. That's a nice one, man. That's a nice one that you the rabbit out the hat.
Did Derringer produce that? Do you know?
I think so. I think Derringer did that. Yeah. I know Sky Joint 2, Static did that. Shout to Static. But I think Derringer did that first one. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That record's dope. Like, that record's a part of my playlist. Like, when I be at work working, like, it's one of them joints that come on that get a nigga moving.
Yeah.
Yo, eating brunch with the Blodges.
Oh, spending Labor Day with the Blodges. It's not a punchline.
Spending Labor Day with the Blodges is not a punchline.
Yeah. Because it was right after that when I did the joint. Shout to the Queen, Mary J. I wound up, I was at her crib, with some people, and I literally spent Labor Day, at Mary J. Blige house one year, you know what I mean? And it was like, she was awesome. Family was awesome, vibes. It was one of them things where, like, it wasn't like 300 people there. It was family, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it was Mary and LL and,
Y'all playing music?
Yeah, but it was just like you playing Marvin and stuff. You know what I'm saying? It literally was like a cool backyard barbecue thing, you know what I mean?
But the people want to know though, like, y'all playing music in a backyard barbecue with Mary J. Blige. Skyzoo, please tell us, was Mary J. Blige doing the Mary J. Blige dance in the background while they was playing that? What she doing?
She was kicking it, man, you know what I'm saying? But it was like her and LL and his family and Carl Kanai. I went through my brother Tyrese, you know what I mean? Shout out to my brother Tyrese. Reese took me, you know what I mean? So me and Reese was kicking it, and then he was like, yo, what we gonna do for Labor Day? I was like, I don't know, man, whatever. And we was trying to figure out something to do. And then he was like, I know what we're going to do. And then we just pulled up. And I was like, yo, you know what I mean? He didn't tell me where we was going. I was like, yo, okay, word up. You know what I mean? And we was there the whole day. You know what I mean? Like, till the night, eating, barbecuing, playing cards in the back. So that's when, I think maybe like a week or two later is when I did the verse for the joint. So that's why I threw that in it, because it had just happened. So I was like, spending the day with the Blodges. That's not a punchline. You know what I mean? Like, there was no punchline in that. It was just, this is what I just did. You know what I mean?
Fact.
Yeah.
Yo, so to all you MCs out there, whatever, that is what to you aspiring MCs, that's what we actually call throwing the real life stunt in there. Like he really did that. He stunted on y'all niggas.
Right.
Well, he stunted on me too. I'm a rapper. He stunted on me too.
Nah, it was cool, man. So, shout to her and all of them, man. It was a blast. Just hanging out. I got a million stories like that, man, of just, random ill celeb situations that I be in. Who's the craziest?
Like, what was the craziest, like, illest situation that, like, that first thing that popped in your mind that you say, yo, this was the craziest shit that I was in? Like, word up.
Man, I'd have to think about it, man. I mean, I used to, man, I don't know.
Like when they do the Skyzoo. When they do the Skyzoo docuseries, what's the one shit that when you sitting there with Hulu, you're gonna be like, yo, my nigga, there's no way you're doing this without putting this in there. Like, you gotta put this in.
Some of them I wouldn't even put in it because they so not wild in a sense of bad or anything like that, but they're just so like, some things you gotta just keep for yourself. Like, yo, that was such an amazing moment, but I'm gonna hold that. You know what I'm saying? Man, not even to get into the whole story, but like, oh man, let me see. Thinking about it. Yeah, I learned how to smoke cigars from Jordan. Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah.
From Jordan?
Yeah, he taught me how to smoke cigars. Yeah.
Hold on, bro.
So you know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that. Right. You know what I mean?
Like, what the fuck? How you smoke a cigar with Michael Jordan, bro?
Yo, my first cigar was with him. Like, yo, Brooklyn, this how you smoke. You know what I mean? Like, he always called me Brooklyn. Yeah. Yeah, real shit. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, I have like so many wild, random stories of like just different ill things that I was able to be a part of, that I was blessed to be a part of. Stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Where like I never did nothing with that. I'm not gonna run around and make a song about that. You know what I'm saying? Or like, or have a million.
But you could. You could.
You know, but that's not my personality. You know what I mean? I'm cool. I'm low with it. You know what I'm saying? But so that, you know what I'm saying? Like I got a lot of stories like that. But that was, that was one. Mike taught me how to smoke cigars. Yeah, we was hanging out, you know what I'm saying? And he taught me how to smoke cigars. And my first one was with him. Like, yo, here, Brooklyn, take that. And you know what I mean? And he showed me how to smoke cigars. So that was cool.
Yo, that's so hard because y'all heard him? He was like, yo, Mike. He told me how to smoke a cigar. Mike. My nigga Mike.
Right.
Yo, that's hard.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Obviously, that's an honor and a blessing and a privilege beyond any stretch of the imagination. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah. Well, like you said, man, like it is a blessing, especially coming from where we come from.
Right.
It's funny because I've thought about these things too, because I got this thing that I be doing where I be doing story times, telling wild stories. And it's wild because it's like just to be involved and be around certain things. It might not even have been something that specifically happened to me, but it happened to my man, and I was there. We was real close and close play, and it's just wild. And it's we at Quincy Jones's house. Like, this is crazy. Like, I'm from Brooklyn.
The way you reacted with that just now is my reaction to that. Like, you was where, you know what I'm saying?
You know what
I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. You know what I mean? Like, that's one of the people I've been blessed to meet and build relationships with a ton of people, you know what I mean? Including like who we were just talking about, but something like that, like that's one of the few people I'm like, yo, man, if I could meet Quincy and just soak up some knowledge from Quincy, you know what I'm saying? Like that would be nuts.
And it was wild. I'm gonna tell you some real shit. Like he was bugging, he was tripping off me because I was there with Miri Ben Ari, you know what I'm saying? That played the violin. I was there with her. And he took a liking to me, kind of like just on some asking me questions like, yo, because I was from Brooklyn. Like, he was like, word, yeah. Woo. Just asking me questions and stuff like that. He was intrigued, and I gave him my CD, bro. My CD was called Dirty Urine. That was the name of the album.
Word up.
And I gave it to him, and I'll never forget. He was like, Dirty Urine. He started dying laughing. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like shit like that. He was intrigued by the kid. So, that was real dope. So we're gonna get down to the business that everybody wanna know. Let me fix my earpieces in my earpieces and shit. Right. So out of all your whole catalog, what would be your favorite record? Now, again, it could be a feature, it could be a solo joint, it could be a joint never came out yet, it could be a joint you just wrote, it could be a joint you ghost wrote. Because I know. So it could be one of those, you know what I'm saying? Like to you, what would that joint be?
Man, I was thinking about that when you hit me, wanting to put this together, and I can't pick one, you know what I'm saying?
The greats never can.
It's really difficult, man. I could pick a handful, I could run through a couple of them, and then I could give you the stories on whichever one you want, but definitely See a Key with Jadakiss, because Jadakiss is one of my superheroes, you know what I mean? So being able to do that with him and becoming, really cool with him and the whole LOX, those was my superheroes growing up. Like, I tell them every time I speak to them, I'm like, yo, y'all superheroes. I can speak to them every day and I'm gonna say the same thing to them every day. Like, yo, y'all my superheroes. You know what I mean? Those was my Marvel characters, you know what I mean? Like
to this day.
Absolutely, without a doubt. You know what I mean? So See a Key with Jada. Spike Lee was my hero with Talib Kweli, and the history behind that, and like from the song and the way that came together, and in the video and the way that came together with Spike, you know what I mean? And Spike being in the video with us. So like that one, I did a record in 2011 on the Great Debater mixtape called The Definitive Prayer. That one, because that one, I just went wild on this David Axelrod record. It wasn't even a sample. I just went wild on the whole record. And this jazz record with these drums. A million people have sampled it, but I rhymed to the actual song, and it's 82 bars. You know what I mean? And I was born in 82, and I didn't even realize it was 82 bars until I was done. I just rhymed until the record stopped, and it wound up being 82 bars. But that was one of those moments where I really just like the complexities of it, like how complex it is and all that, and the layering of it. That's one of my favorite moments. And a record I did called A Song for Fathers, you know, which was a Father's Day joint that I did in 2020 off my Father's Day EP, Milestones. You know, and the whole EP is about fatherhood, specifically Black fatherhood in the city, in the urban community where we come from, individuals like ourselves. And that's one of my favorite songs I've ever did. It's called A Song for Fathers, where I flipped, you know, Song for My Father by Horace Silver, made a hip hop version of it. So that one, man, there's a lot, man.
So look, so out of those 4 records, if you had to throw one on right now, which one would you? What would be your move? So we're gonna go off of the move.
Yeah, exactly. I think it depends on the mood. So like, you know, I'm always in the mood to hear a song for fathers just because of what it means and me being a dad and having my son Miles and all that. So I'm always in the mood to hear that. All of them, man, you know, they're all different. All 4 of those records are so different in their own way, but the common denominator is that they're uniquely me, you know? So they're so different, but they're similar in the sense of they belong together. You know, they belong together. They come from the same thread. It's not me making a trap joint and then me making a female oriented joint and then me making a religious joint. Like they have these different themes and these different energies, but they all come from the same space. So they belong together, you know. And
so what would be the background behind the Kweli record? So shout out to Kweli.
Absolutely, that's my brother.
Shout to son. Yo, I seen an interview a while ago of you when you was on People's Party.
Yeah.
And it was dope. It was a dope interview. Like I learned a lot about you. You know what I'm saying? Just even in terms of I remember you were speaking about how your approach to production. Like when you're picking beats, you like the really, really big instrumental, like instruments in the beats. I remember you saying something to that effect.
Right.
Was that something that you and Kweli were working on together with that record, or?
Nah, yeah, it's crazy. What happened was I was working on my album. It was 2012. I was working on A Dream Deferred, which is the album that came off of. And you know, I'm working on the joint or whatever, and so a Black guy did that beat. And when I heard the beat, and it sounded like a superhero record. It sounded like superhero music. And I was like, yo, I need that, you know. And me and Tall Black Guy was doing some work, and you know, it was like, all right, cool. You know, I got the beat from him. And when I sat down and listened to it, I said, this record has to be about a superhero. Just with the like, it just felt like the theme music for a dude flying over the city with his cape on and, you know, kicking down a building and, you know, just going crazy. It was a superhero record. And I said, well, who's my superheroes? And my superheroes was always my pops, Jadakiss, and Spike Lee. Like those was my superheroes growing up. You know what I mean? And they're so random. Like those 3 individuals are so random. So I didn't feel like that beat was a record about my dad. You know what I mean? And then, you know, so I was just thinking about it and what made sense. And then the Spike element just kicked in. And I was like, yo, Spike Lee was my hero, you know, and still is. But the reason why I said is because the concept of the record is me speaking about all the things going on with me growing up and how I could have went a certain way. But I had a superhero named Spike Lee who, without even knowing me, steered me in another direction. You know what I mean? So so I did the record, you know, I did the joint or whatever, and I was done. You know, it was 2 verses and whatever. And that was pretty much it. So now fast forward a couple weeks, and Kweli hit me, and he was working on a mixtape. I forgot the name of it. He was working on a mixtape at the time, and he hit me like, yo, I got this joint I'm getting ready to do, you know, so we're getting on a joint. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. So I went to his studio and we did the joint. You know, I wrote my verse on the spot, boom, boom, did the joint, whatever. So when I was done, he was like, yo, what you working on? You know, what's new, what's going on? Kind of just catching up. And I was like, yeah, you know, I'm working on my album right now. And he was like, yo, you got anything on you? Let me hear something. So I played maybe like 2 or 3 records. I had a flash drive on me and I played like 2 or 3 records. And then I played Spike Lee Was My Hero. And when he heard it, he was like, yo, if you want me to get on anything, man, I would love to get on this. You know, he jumped on it himself. You know what I mean? Like he invited himself to the party, you know what I mean? And I loved it. You know what I mean? He was like, yo, bro, if you need me to get on anything, let me get on this one. And I was like, yeah, done deal. So I wasn't thinking about putting nobody on that record, but I was like, absolutely, that makes perfect sense. You from Brooklyn, I'm from Brooklyn, Spike, you know, the whole thing, you get it, you know, the type of individual you are and your intelligence and how you move as an artist and how you write, you make perfect sense to talk about Spike Lee. You know?
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, I left the record with him and maybe like 2 weeks later, he, you know, he sent it back to me. You know what I mean? He sent me the verse and everything was great. And then the album comes out and a couple days after the album came out, Spike Lee tweeted me. And he was like, yo, loving the record. This is crazy. Honored to have a record named after me and made about me. And I was like, oh, shit, because I didn't know Spike. I had never met him. I was like, oh, shit. And then like 10 minutes later, he tweeted again and he was quoting records. He was quoting lines from the record. And I was like, yo, hold up. And I was like, yo, it might be something here. You know what I mean? Like we might be able to turn this into something because he just kept talking about the record. And so then I started figuring out who I knew that was close to him. And one of my man Fuse Green, shout to Fuse, he lived in the neighborhood in the Sty, and he did a lot of artwork for 40 Acres. He did a lot of like the posters and the logos and the clothes. So I hit Fuse and I was like, yo, I'm trying to figure out this connection. Like, how did son get aware of this, whatever. So it turns out Spike's son was listening to the record in the crib, you know what I mean? And he was listening to the album. And when the record came on, he just went in the next room like, yo, dad, come here. And he played the record for him.
Wow.
Yo, like, you know what I mean? So it was all God. Like, you know what I mean? It was all God because like, you know, I didn't even know Spike's son was, you know, was on it like that. You know what I'm saying? So, it was Jackson, you know, Spike's son. And he literally was listening to the album and then he went in the room and grabbed him. Yo, listen to this. Look what this my man Skyzoo made about you. It was like, yo, so, you know, that all came together. Fuse helped me get connected to Jason. My man Jason is Spike's right hand man. Shout out to Jason. And that was how it all came together. And then what was told to me was that it was like, yo, like, so we're going to shoot a video for this, right? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. But I wasn't even thinking about it. I'm not trying to overstep. I'm like, yo, son, mad love on the Twitter.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. Boom, boom, boom. Yo, that's enough for me. And it was like, nah, we're going to shoot a video for this, right? And I was like, yeah, all right, yeah, no doubt. You know what I'm saying? So we put the video together. Shout out to my man, Alex G. He was an amazing video director. He did some of my biggest videos was his work. He actually passed a few years ago in this big fire in Oakland that like made the news, like CNN and all that. He was a part of that.
God bless.
Yeah, shout out to my man, Alex. But I know this video was like, kind of his magnum opus. Like when he did this video, man, it meant the world to him because it was Spike, you know what I'm saying? And it meant the world to him. Even when he passed, they used the video as like a big speaking point of his career. Like he worked with Spike Lee and blah, blah, blah. So I'm honored to be able to, you know, facilitate that in my own way. But, you know, my man, Alex, you know, him and my man, Sil, they put the video together and we just blacked out. You know, we went crazy on that video. You know what I mean? And it was phenomenal, man. And then we shot it in 2 parts. You know, we shot part of it in a brownstone in Sunset Park, and then we shot the other part at Spike's office with him in it. And he came. Okay. It was a Saturday, so it was an off day. Like it wasn't like he was at the office. It was a Saturday.
He came through.
Like, yo, meet me at the office on Saturday at this time. We're gonna rock out. Boom, boom, boom. And we pulled up. You know what I mean? And he was there getting the room ready, and we shot it. And he was giving my man Alex like tips on the camera, like, yo, bring it this way and then do that. So it was ill. Like he really, really was involved with it. And I remember he was like, yo, you know, I don't really be in videos like that. And he was like, yo, this probably gonna be the last time I'm in a video. And I was like, hell yeah. Let me walk out with that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? And
that's fire.
You know what I mean? It was dope, man. So that's easily one of my favorite moments because from there, I was able to build a relationship with Spike. You know, so now Spike is my man. You know, that was, man, it's crazy to say it. That was, you know, 2022 makes it 10 years. You know what I'm saying? So like, I think we shot that video December 2012. So it's been like 10 years. So, you know, being able to have a relationship with him over the past 10 years now, going to the office, going to the block parties, getting invited to the movie events and premieres and blah, 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 you know, and that being the homie. Yo, Spike, happy Father's Day, bro. Yo, appreciate it, G. How you doing? Blah, blah, blah. Like having that relationship and that rapport, you know what I mean? And
yo, that's big.
I would have never thought that those types of things would happen, you know, so it was dope.
Yeah. Nah, that's super big, man. Yo, y'all make sure that y'all check out Spike Lee Was My Hero. Yeah. And y'all check out Sky Joint. Y'all check out those 2 joints. They streaming everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Y'all make sure y'all check them out. Yo, Scott, man, one of the things that I really like about you as an MC is how humble you are. And I just want to tell you before we get up out of here that keep that up, bro. Keep that up.
Always, man. I appreciate that.
Because you know, you've been in the game a long time, man. You know, people like that are real far few in between, and we need more of that. We just need more of that. You know, it's cool to have what we have, but we need more of this. You know what I'm saying?
I agree, man. Yeah, I grew up a certain way, man. I grew up with a lot of morals and values from like old school Brooklyn. You know what I mean? We don't bite. You know, we don't go against the grain. You know, and you know, and we keep it humble and we keep it cool. You know what I mean? Like regardless of what I do and my capabilities as an MC and what I've been blessed to achieve, it doesn't change anything about me between me and the next man. You know, whether they on the come up trying to get what they getting, or if they already got X, Y, Z that I'm still trying to aspire to. At the end of the day, we still kind of on the same playing field. You know what I mean? We're on the same level in one way or another. I might have more bread than this one, or this one might have more bread than me, or whatever. But at the end of the day, you strip all that shit down, and we on the same playing field. So I keep all that, you know, as a part of who I am. And humbleness is everything for me. You know, I still get busy and show and prove each and every time I have to, but humbleness is everything for me, you know, because as quick as you get a fan and a supporter is as quick as you could lose them, you know. So the thing about me, people have always been like, you know, when they meet me, they'll always say later on, whether it's on a comment, on a post or something, they always be like, yo, son is the coolest person you'll ever meet. You know what I mean? Like, they always be like, son is the coolest person you'll ever meet, man. If you ever go to a Skyzoo show and you meet him, oh man, he's the cool. Because a lot of these guys, man, you know, you meet them, you be a fan of them or whatever, and then you meet them, and you know, they be suckers, man, or you know, they think they all that. You be like, yo, man, I wish I ain't even meet son, man. Son is corny, you know what I'm saying? Or thought he was all that, or whatever. And for me, you know, I respect everybody who respect me, and I show love to everybody who show love to me, and it's all good. Like I said, we on the same playing field, man. We came from the same place, we in the same race together, you know, and at some point the clock gonna tip out on us one way or another at some point. So like, you just keep all that in mind and keep it cool and keep it humble, you know?
Yeah, that's a fact. Well, what you got coming up next? Like, you got any music dropping?
Yeah, you know, my most recent album, All the Brilliant Things, is out now. It came out June 2021. So it's been about 6 months since it's been out. Still promoting that, videos and you know, promo on it, because I feel like, you know, we grew up in an era where heads would drop an album once every 2 years, once every 3 years. You know what I mean? And it changed, drop once a year, and that's fine. Like I literally drop every single year. But the dropping every month and dropping every 3 months, and you know, the album just came out, but now it's like, yo, when you dropping something new, I'm like, damn, that shit came out a month ago. You know what I mean? It's been 4 weeks. Like, live with it. Like, nah, I'm about that, right? So, excuse me, to me, 6 months ain't crazy. You know, as far as the album being out. The album ain't old. It's only been 6 months. You know what I mean? So I'm still promoting that, still pushing that. But there'll definitely be some new music in 2022. You know, not sure what it's going to be yet. I'm brainstorming some ideas. But there'll be something for 2022. And we'll just keep this thing rolling, you know?
No doubt. I'm definitely gonna be hollering at you sometime this year too.
Yeah.
Word up. Definitely at some time this year.
We spoke before about building on some things. So just let me know.
Yes,
you know,
sir.
I'm around.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? It's nothing.
Word up. Yo, Scott, man, I really, really want to thank you for stopping by your favorite song, man. Like this was big to me personally, you know, as an MC, man. Yeah. Word up, man. I wish you nothing but success, brother. And
Likewise.
You know, the eyes and the ears are open, man. Team Skyzoo over here. You heard?
Oh man, Brooklyn. That's real. I appreciate that. You're already, man. I appreciate the love. You know, appreciate you taking the time and wanting to sit down with me and build and break down these records. You know, so it was a good time.
Yeah. And again, y'all make sure y'all check out Spike Lee was my hero, and definitely make sure you check out Sky Joint. Both of them joints are streaming everywhere. Fire record, you can't go wrong. And the album is All the Brilliant Things. That shit is out right now too. Y'all make sure y'all check that out too, man. Sky, man, salute, brother.
Oh man, peace and love, brother. I appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, family.
Word up.